You ever gone to a class and taken a test and you seriously have no clue as to what you're looking at on the page? You start looking around the room, everybody's writing except for you. I hate that feeling. And then the teacher says, okay, when you're done, you can turn in your test and leave. So you wait for like 5 minutes and then you turn in your test and the teacher gives you that look. You get the test back the next time you go to class and blow! Big ol' fat F. Then you say, bump this, I'm studying. But if you're like me, you suffer from chronic procrastination and you wait till the night before to even open your book to study. And then you study like a boss, like you cram sesh in effects. You got that book open and you're studying for hours. You quiz yourself, you cover up the answer, and you read yourself the question. You start hyping yourself up like, what? I'm gonna kill this test. Take the test and blow, big ol' fat F. So I start doing what some of you guys have probably done at some point. I cheat. Yes, I check my emails and I see what some of you ladies are saying. SWooZie, tell us stories about the old you. I know exactly what you're trying to say. You're trying to say, SWooZie, tell us about when you was a bad boy, because I like the bad boys. I'm gonna give you that today. Here we go. I cheat. But I did it wrong at first. I did what I call now freestyle cheating, where you just kind of turn your head and you peek off of the person next to you's paper. But see, I learned you can't do it like that because there's too many random variables where people write their answers all tiny and small and you can't even read it. It used to frustrate the crap out of me. Like, how am I supposed to cheat off of you if your answer looks like Braille? People used to either write too tiny or they just wrote too sloppy. Because the sloppier your writing is, the longer I have to stare at your paper to figure out whatever your chicken scratch means. And it makes it pretty obvious that I'm trying to cheat. It would make me so mad. I would just want to take my pencil and throw it at them and then run over and rip up their test. How am I supposed to cheat off you when your handwriting looks like the alien hieroglyphics from Lost? Look, right there, you even drew a bird and the numbers from the hatch. So I tried to freestyle cheat and get my test back and blow, big ol' fat F. I gave up. I was like, bump it. I'm gonna fail this dumb class. I don't care anymore. But the next test that we had, I started noticing some sketchiness going on in the class. Questionable sounds, like people coughing and sniffling. How come Cheyenne always develops these flu symptoms every time there's a test? And then I saw it. She coughed, and then like 8 people around her all of a sudden would write down an answer. And then she'd sniffle, and the same 8 would write another answer. And I'm like, what the flux capacitor is going on here? This is a multiple choice test. These people are cheating. I look over at the teacher, totally oblivious as to what's going on. I'm like, bump this. Everybody else is cheating. They didn't include me on this. Oh no, it's not going down like this. So I devised a plan. First thing I knew I needed, accomplices. So I got my friend Paul, and I got my friend Josh. I was gonna be the point man, Paul was gonna be the diversion, and Josh didn't do squat, he just got a free ride. So in history class, the day before we actually took the test, he would ask us some of the questions from the answer key. And I'd watch him real carefully. He'd go up to the podium, and he'd always take the answer key with him, and it was always multiple choice. And at the end of class, he would always leave the answer key up there. Alright, so then I get Paul and Josh and I explain my master plan to them. Blueprints, charts, and I go Michael Scofield prison break on these kids. So the day before a test, he gets up like he normally does, goes to the front podium, starts asking us a bunch of questions. The bell rings, he goes back to his desk. Now his name is Mr. Masters. Me and Paul, we give the little signal. Paul walks over to him and he's like, Mr. Masters, I have some questions about the Embargo Act of 1807. So then I activate phase 2. I walk over to the podium and I open up the answer key and flip to the questions that are going to be on tomorrow's test, and I start talking all loud. Okay, attention class, I'm going to read off all the answers to the test. B, B, C, D, A, B, B, D, C. Mr. Masters looks up like, what are you doing? I'm like, don't worry. Nobody's gonna hear me. Who's gonna sit here and memorize all these answers anyway? A, B, B, C, 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 C. There's nobody here. So then he just shake his head and go back to answering Paul's question. Unbeknownst to the teacher, I've got a tape recorder tucked away in my pocket recording all the answers. Boom! It's not cheating. It's giving yourself a successful advantage. Like a boss. Me, Paul, and Josh meet out on the patio. It's time to memorize this bad boy. Take a wild guess what we do next. We turn those answers into a rap song. What? Let's go. B, B, C, yeah. A, G, D, yeah. A, C, B, B, C, B. Next day we walk into class. We about to handle our business. Stone cold. Game face is on. It's go time. We all sit on opposite ends of the class because we know we're about to get A's. What you gonna do about it? You can't say nothing. But see, now when I start taking these tests, everybody thinks I'm crazy because I'm sitting there mumbling myself like, Lord of mercy. Get the test back, blow, big ol' fat A. The teacher's job is to grade the student's mind, not the paper. Think about that. And that's how we justified it. We weren't cheating, we were collaborating. Tiger blood, forget tiger blood running through your veins, we got ninja blood on deck. There's one more collaboration that went down, but if you guys promise not to do any collaborating / cheating in the meantime, I'll tell you guys that story in an upcoming video. We've all had that class where we go to the class and there's another student in the class that we kind of have the hots for. And fellas, according to society, it's our job to make the first move. So it gets a little difficult if that person is sitting on the other end of the world. And ladies, I know you guys struggle too. Like, how are you gonna make yourself stand out to that hot guy in the back of the class when you have to go to the cheerleader and the random big booty chick and that curvaceous Latina that sits directly in front of him? And he's not gonna notice you over there twirling your hair with that voluptuous booty all up in his grill. My first hickey actually came from a girl I met in class. So there's this college here in Orlando called Valencia. I'm sitting in the back row of the class and I'm right by the door, so it's me, empty seat, and door. I'm sitting in my chair and all of a sudden I hear like a lot of shuffling. I look to my right, this girl rushes into the class. Now this girl sat down so fast, whoosh, you get a huge gust of her fragrance. I know this has happened to some of you guys. Somebody walks past you and you get a gust of what they smell like a few seconds later, and I just got weak. Like, I want to tell you guys what this fragrance is, but if it ever got out, that probably would not be a good look for me. Girls would just have too much power over me. I had this class Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Wednesday comes along, sitting there, and all of a sudden I hear, but 5 seconds later, whoosh, huge gust of that demon scent all up in my right nostril. I'm like gripping the desk with both my hands and my toes are curling in my shoes. Friday comes along, okay? We only have 10 minutes of class left. Then, whoosh! And that delicious fragrance was all up in my breathing peripherals. I couldn't take it anymore, all right? Class ends, and hand on a stack of Bible apps, this is exactly what happens. This girl walks onto the hallway, I walk out after her, I tap her on her shoulder. Hey. Not to be rude or anything, I don't know you, you don't know me, you come in late every single day. I'm fine with that. Problem I have is you're wearing that fragrance, and that is my weakness. I'm gonna request that you do one of two things. Either A, start showing up on time, or B, stop wearing fragrance to class. Because when you come into class and I get blasted with your fragrance all up in my nostril, I can't be held accountable for my actions. So if I lean over one day and start nibbling on your neck, don't be looking all confused. I said that to this girl and walked off. But as I turned, I saw her start to smile and I was like, yo, that was kind of G. That's some like CEO corporate boss status. Next Monday comes along. All up in my breathing peripherals. And this girl is looking forward and she's fighting back this big old grin on her face. And I'm just like, this little minx. Bunk this. This girl thinks this is a game. This is not a game. This is real life. Friday comes. She doesn't even show up to class. Walking through the hallways and I hear, hey. And it's her. She walks up to me and she goes, I missed class and I think we have a test coming up. Let me give you my number. We could link up and study sometime. Give her my phone. She puts in her number. She gives it back to me. I look at it. This girl doesn't put her name in. And then I thought, I don't even know what this girl's name is. Wouldn't you know, midway through the next week, my mom tells me, we're going out of town this weekend. The house is all yours. Feed the dogs, make sure they don't die. So you know what I'm thinking. I need to study with whatever her name is. Friday comes along, my parents leave town, I hit up, we'll just call her girl. I'm free tonight if you want to come over and study. She's like, I can't make it tonight, but if you're free tomorrow, I can stop by. Where do you live? Fellas, it's not a good look to just give your address out to some girl and you don't even know her name. This was the first and last time I did something like this. Mess around, this girl come to my house and rob me blind. The cops show up and ask me, what was this girl's name? Tamar comes along. I open the door. This girl is standing there swinging her arms. She doesn't have a single book in hand. She walks in and poof, all up in my nostril cavity. All I can smell is it smelled like she showered in it, brushed her teeth in it. Girl, you finna die. Since she didn't come to the battle with her sword, we upstairs in my bedroom watching movies. So we're sitting on my bed and every time I inhale like I smell this demon scent, and I don't even smell it, I smell it. I don't even know what happened. One minute I'm watching the movie and then I blacked out, and the next thing you know, her earlobe is in my mouth. I tried to, this girl thinks this is a game. This is not a game, it's real life. No respawns. Actually, this is a good place to stop it. This video is getting too long as it is, so you gotta come back next week to hear the conclusion. All right, I'll catch you guys next week. Cut it, it's a wrap. I'm there, sucking on her earlobe. It's great. I don't even know your name. I'm not a player, all right? I just cut a lot. See, my mind was telling me no, but my body was telling me yes. I move on to the next phase and start sucking on her neck. She's like, you cannot touch my neck. No, I bruise. Too easy. You cannot go there. What? You give me small kiss. Boof, I blow up like blowfish. You cannot touch my neck. Stay away, please. I can't suck on your neck? MAC makeup, girl. Google it. But if you want, I can give you hickey. Well, got some bad news for you. I can't get hickeys. My last girlfriend, she tried. For whatever reason, the skin around my neck is like really tough, so you can do whatever you want, and I will not bruise. I'm like Wolverine. I have his mutant powers. I heal really quick. So I laid down and I'm just like, do your worst. You guys know that scene in Jurassic Park where they go to feed the velociraptors and they lower that cow on the crane? That's what it was like up in my bedroom. We never even kissed on the lips. It was just a lot of passionate necking and sucking and stuff. I honestly was never gonna tell you guys this story, but I mean, it doesn't have any like positive message anywhere in there. It's just kind of like one of those stories you share with your inner circle of boys, that kind of thing. So all of that died down and we actually go back to watching what's left of this movie. The movie ends and then she looks over at me and goes, what? What's the problem? Oh my God. Your neck. I get up and walk into the bathroom, and as I'm walking in, I'm just like, my ex made 97 hickey attempts and not once did it ever leave. Oh my dear Lord. From my left ear to my right ear on my neck was black, and on the edges of the black was purple. It had hashtags in there. It looked like somebody had clawed me. And then it dawns upon me, my parents are coming home tomorrow. Whoops. I'm not a player, all right? I just cut a lot. My mind was telling me no. My body was telling me yes. Sunday comes. My mom texts me. All right, honey, we're on the way home. And I'm like, while I was sleeping, a bear broke in and attacked me. I fought him off. So when you see me, don't be alarmed because I was mauled by a bear. So they come home. I hear the keys jiggling in the door opens, and I commit to this. Okay, I'm not gonna hide. I'm gonna face this head on. I walk downstairs into the kitchen. What's up, guys? And my mom kind of just stops and like gives me this really concerned look. Oh dang, the moment of truth. Are y'all about to laugh? Or am I in trouble? Like, what's the situation here? She laughed it off, gave me a hug. She looked at my dad like, have you seen your son's neck? And I was like, guys, I told you, I was mauled by a bear. I barely escaped with my life. And they both got a good laugh out of that. I'm not a player, all right? I just cut a lot. I hate bullies. You hate bullies. Nobody likes bullies. And see, what sucks is it's hard to go to a teacher. Because if you go to the teacher and the teacher goes to that bully, guess what? That bully's gonna come at you 100 times harder. Plus, that's not how I was raised. My hood would never let me be no snitch. Me and my homies, we robbed a bank once. I got busted. Granted, it was on Grand Theft Auto. And yeah, I was only in jail for like 5 seconds, but still, I ain't no snitch. There was this kid, Jonathan. I was in 7th grade, he was in 9th grade. This dude would constantly harass me, flick my ear, pull chairs off from underneath me when I'm trying to sit, punch me in the shoulder. One day in the hall, this dude hit me so hard in the back of the head, I legit forgot where I was at. Everybody was laughing at me, like I was fighting back the tears. It was so embarrassing. I wanted to tell the teachers, but I ain't no snitch, okay? I did my nickel, and I ain't rat on nobody. And then halfway through the school year, we got this new kid named Austin. Austin was a pretty boy, and all the girls were in love with him. Jonathan ain't like that one bit. He took all that energy he was focusing on me and shifted it to Austin. After Jonathan stopped bullying me, like my mom would be driving me to school and I'd be like, "Do you smell that, Mom? Do you smell that? You know what that smell is? It smells like freedom." Today is where my book begins, and the rest is just unwritten. It felt so good to come to school and not be bullied. One day I step out into the hall after class, and Jonathan has Austin pinned up against a locker. And Austin's like, "If you hit me one more time, I'm gonna get my cousin to come over here tomorrow after school and kick your butt." And he goes to Robbinswood. We went to a private school, and Robbinswood was like the public school version of our private school. And private school teachers always use those scare tactics so you don't leave the private school and go to a public school. So we were all petrified of Robbinswood kids because of all the brainwashing. Jonathan wasn't buying his bluff. "I don't care. Get your cousin. Get your cousin and all his friends. I ain't scared of you. I ain't scared of him. I ain't scared of nobody." So the next day, school ends, and I step out the gym, and I see Jonathan sitting on the patio, and I'm like, let me just get comfortable. And then about 10 minutes later, guess who comes walking around the corner off the street? Yup, Austin. And guess who he's with? Yup, his cousin. And I'm like, oh dang, junk is about to get raw. I just see Austin's lips move, and then his cousin did like this power march toward Jonathan. And Jonathan steps away from the group, and his face just turns white. As his cousin gets closer, he puts his hands up like, hey, listen, man, listen. His cousin doesn't say a word. Bow! No questions, son. Punched him right in his muffin. He was like, bam, ding, 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 ding. It was over. I wanted to run over and be like, boom, headshot, MLG Pro. Look at me, look at me. He is the captain now, okay? And you know, I thought that was it. Like, fight's over. But nah, he beat the crap out of Jonathan. And all of Jonathan's boys just stood around watching. Not one of them tried to help. I felt like I was watching Marvel vs. Capcom in real life. Like, he's throwing Jonathan up in the air. He's got assist characters coming in throwing lasers at him. He walked back over to Austin, and then I see Jonathan like limping toward him, and he goes, "Yeah, you better run." Probably not the smartest thing for Jonathan to say. Because then Austin's cousin turned around, ran back over to him, grabbed him by the hair, and then starts slamming his head into the wall over and over. And then he just walked off like nothing. Like his shirt wasn't even wrinkled. The next day at school, it looked like Jonathan had been neutered. He didn't talk to nobody. He sure as heck was not bullying Austin no more. He wasn't bullying me. He didn't bully anybody for the rest of the year. It almost seemed like he turned into a foreign exchange student who didn't know English. You know, he'd barely speak. Can you guys, can somebody pass me an eraser, please? And that's it. If you're clowning somebody else at school, stop it. If you physically are touching or laying hands on somebody else at school, stop it. Let's just make this real simple, since a lot of bullies don't realize they're bullying people. Don't say or do anything to anybody that you wouldn't want them to say or do to you. That's it. In high school, I never understood going to school to skip class on campus. That made no sense to me. If you didn't want to go to school, stay home. I'd be in driver's ed class outside on the bleachers, look over and see kids skipping every single day, like literally skipping. La 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 la. And at my school, skipping was like a really big problem. So if you ever got caught, it's Saturday school or detention. Not worth it. I go to school and forget that I have a massive test that I didn't study for. So bump it, I'm just gonna skip. And lately I've been getting a lot of subscribers from England, Australia, and Canada. I don't know how schooling works over there. At my school, we had 3 lunches and 1 long class that you just stay in for that whole time until it's your lunch. And I had the last lunch, so all I need to do is skip class for the first 2 lunches, and then we Gucci. So I'm standing in the hall thinking about this, and then the late bell rings, so I'm just like, okay, well, it's now or never. And over by art and photography, there's these bathrooms that are single stalled that I always smell wacky tobacco coming out of. So I walk over there, and there's an open stall. I go in, I hide, and then I wait for the first bell to ring. So kids start going into the lunchroom, and I'm thinking to myself, I could hide in here for an hour. Or I could be a fatty and eat at all 3 lunches. And if you've seen any of my Instagram stories or my Snapchat stories, you already can know which one of these I picked. I had my main squad, Willie and Bandit, in high school, but I'd also squad hops. I was cool with the Jamaicans, the goth kids, the nerds, the popular kids. Okay, I wasn't really friends with the popular kids, but you get the idea. I never been to this first lunch. It had a completely different vibe. But please believe, I was chilling with my Asians over there like, bell rings, everybody starts leaving the lunchroom. I start heading back to my bathrooms, and there's an administrator blocking it. So my new mission objective is to find a new bathroom, and then I'll just come out for a second lunch. Boom, we good. And now the administrators are watching all the kids going into the classrooms. I don't got no class over on this side of the building, so I walk outside and I'm acting like I'm going to another building, and then I hear, "Hey!" Did you hear anything? I didn't hear anything. I'm just gonna walk this way now. Then I hear her say, "Hey, you stop!" And then I ran. If you ever run from administrators, that's 3 days suspension. I sprint for like 30 seconds and I thought I lost her. Look over my shoulder and she is right there like, I'm 16 and a half years old and you're like 70. How you keeping up with me? I ain't going back to jail. I did my nickel. I ain't going back. I'm guessing a lot of kids ran from her because I felt like John Connor being chased by the T-1000. So I'm zigzagging, running around corners. I find a bathroom, boom, kick open the door. There's 10 other dudes in this boy's bathroom looking like refugees, all skipping, waiting for their next lunch. So there's like a 10-minute window between when lunch gets out and the next lunch starts. So I just have to not get caught before that next bell rings. So I'm chilling in the bathroom and then I hear the double doors at the end of the hall open and then I start hearing heels. None of these dudes know what's going down. So I run into a stall. Thank God there was nobody in it. We're in a boy's bathroom. She can't come in here, right? So the heels keep getting louder and louder, and then she gets to the door and cracks it open, and she goes, "I know you're in there." Nobody says a word. "If you come out now, it's not gonna be that much of a punishment. But if you make me go and get a male administrator, everybody in here is getting suspended." I'm dripping sweat. Sweat is coming out of my booty cheeks right now. My mom is from the Caribbean. I know if she finds out I ran from an administrator and got suspended, she's gonna beat me with a fridge. So once she threatens she's gonna get another administrator, one guy cracks and he comes out. "Is anybody else in there?" "Yeah." So then another kid who's always in trouble, we'll just call him Dre. Dre's like, "Forget it, whatever, I'm in here too." "Who else is in there? You better not cover for anybody." So he walks back in and like Dre is cool. He ain't gonna snitch. You, and just rats with no hesitation. And then he starts walking out and she's like, "Is there anybody else?" "Oh, let me check the stalls real quick." "What the H, Dre?" I hear him open up the other stall. You, out." He opens up my stall and she was like, "Is there anybody else in there?" And he looks me dead in my eye and he goes, "Nah, I said it's all clear, ain't nobody else in here." Me and Dre never even talked. We have gym class together. And I never said 2 words to this dude. Needless to say, that was the last time I ever skipped class. Ever. I'm on the guard stand. These 2 girls come out looking so sexy. I get bumped off the guard stand and I start picking up towels and I make my way over to these girls. One is named Nikki and the other one is named Dee. But I'm trying to holler at Nikki. I start talking to these girls for like 15 minutes. Then I'm like, "Hey, y'all want anything?" Like, it's on me. Water, Shirley Temple, some champagne and dinner in front of the fireplace. Like, whatever y'all need, I got you. But we'll take 2 Shirley Temples. I come back with these drinks, there's some random dudes sitting next to them trying to spit game. I'm thinking to myself, I hope you ain't trying to holler at the same girl I'm trying to holler at, bruh. Cause I can make you disappear. I'm fresh out. I know people that know people. And I'll make it look like an accident too. When the cops show up and start asking questions, I'd be like, "Officer, we was all hanging out. I looked down at my phone, I look up, he stabbed himself." The stab wound was in his back. The dude slipped and fell backwards on a knife. There's 47 stab wounds in his back though. He's a clumsy dude, I don't know. My shift's over, I go to wardrobe, change into my street clothes, and then go back out to the pool deck. Now just doing that alone, I can get written up for. No fraternizing with the guests. Next day comes. These girls are by the pool deck all day long. So same deal, whenever I get free time, I go over and talk. Me, Danny, Dee, and Nikki. My shift's over, street clothes, back out to the pool deck. See, here's the thing, up until this point, I've never hooked up with a guest. I'm not trying to get fired over smooching with this girl. we're all chilling out next to a cabana. All of a sudden, D and Dan start going at it. And Nikki's sitting there like, so yeah, this is actually our last night here. We're leaving tomorrow morning. My parents, they came with us. They got other places they need to go. You came with your parents? Thought y'all came here like by yourself. I gotta kiss this girl, but I can't do it out here on the pool deck. Hard Rock got cameras out the butt. So I'm like, yo, let me walk you to your room one time. So I snatch her up, I walk her around the corner to the stairwell. We walk up about 3 floors, and then she stops and leans up against the wall and just looks at me like, what's up? And I start moving in, and I get closer and closer, and she closes her eyes, and I close my eyes, and I kind of just lean there next to her like an idiot. I'm just leaning next to her for a good like 4 minutes, and then I took her back to her room. Next day, I had to work at 2 p.m. At 11 o'clock, jump in my car, drive to work. I look to my left as soon as I walk out onto the pool deck. First table next to me, Nikki and Nikki's mom and dad. I'm like, yo, y'all got room for one more? I look at Nikki, and she is triggered. Then she goes, I'm going to the bathroom. D, come with me. And that's another thing, why do girls always go to the bathroom together? That's always confused me. Are all public restrooms for ladies escape rooms? And it's like a puzzle where you need 2 or 3 people to figure out how to escape? Anyways, the girls go off, so it's me, Dan, and the parents. And the dad looks at me and he goes, so, I understand you've been canoodling with my daughter the last few days. And I start getting scared. I'm looking at all the exits, because he knows I work here. I can't think of a scenario where he finishes this sentence and it ends positively. So then he looks at me and he goes, why didn't you kiss my daughter last night? Wait. What dad says this? And I give it a few more seconds to see if he's gonna be like, haha, just kidding. This dude is dead serious. And I look to the mom for help, and she ain't trying to help me. She has her hands on her hips like, what kind of freaky family is this? Wait, well, sir, it's just the good guy complex. We leave in 30 minutes.
Throw the nice guy out the window, because I'm not about to be on the plane for the next 4 hours with my daughter, all moody and depressed and sad.
So Nikki and Dee come back and they sit down. So I walk Nikki up to the lobby. Probably the worst place I could have taken her because everybody at front desk knows me. The GM walks through here all the time. Like, I shouldn't even be seen in regular clothes hanging out with guests. Danny and Dee find us and they sit next to us, and as soon as they sit down, they're rolling over us. Danny's feet are like in my face. I'm like pushing his feet out of my face as they make out. They're just going at it. Me and Nikki are just sitting here in silence because I'm nervous AF and scared too. I'm cold. Never kissed a girl before. And the dad walks into the lobby. Where's my daughter and that boy? How much you wanna bet that yellow turd ain't even kissed her yet? Dolores, fetch me my shotgun. He's just mean mugging me. The dad gets in the line for front desk, waiting to check out. So I look at Nikki and I'm like, Nikki, let's take a walk. We start walking. I glance up and I make eye contact with her dad, and he mouths the words, "You better kiss her." Dad is gonna kill me if I don't make out with his daughter. When you pass front desk off to the right, they have these rooms, and they're phone booths, but they're like rooms with just a single phone in it and one tiny little light. Take her in there, grab her, pin her up against the wall, boom. Oh my God, her lips were so soft, y'all. Oh my God. You know when you go to Krispy Kreme and you catch the glazed donuts right off the production line when they pour that hot glaze right on and you bite into it? That's exactly what it was like. There was this one time my friend Tanisha hit me up and she was like, I need you to help me move. It's only gonna take like 2 hours. And I'm like, okay, cool. Who else is gonna be helping us? My friend Tyler and another friend from work. Show up on moving day. None of these chicken heads show up. It's just me. This girl lives on the 3rd floor of her apartment building, the very top, and she has to move 3 rooms and a kitchen worth of stuff down to the U-Haul. I pick up like 200 pounds worth of stuff, like, I'm carrying it all down the stairs, you know? I'm going back up the stairs, I pass her, she's going down, she's carrying 1 pillow, and in my head I'm like, Tanisha, what are you doing? I pass her again, she's carrying like her Hello Kitty blanket. I'm like, okay, Tanisha, we're gonna be here all day. Pick it up just a little bit. I just bought some new amiibos for my Wii, and I gotta reorganize my Blu-ray collection. I got things to do. Master bedroom's clean, living room is halfway done, and then she goes, I forgot to tell you, I sold my washer and dryer on Craigslist, and this lady's coming to pick it up. I didn't sign up for all this. See, I've heard of the Craigslist killer, so how about no? About an hour later, I'm in the living room and I'm about to pick up this TV, and then I look in the doorway and I see this girl and these two dudes. I see them, they see me, Tanisha looks at them, nobody says anything. Then the two guys start looking around the room like, to me, it looked like they were looking for cameras. I'm getting mildly concerned now. A good 60 seconds goes by where nobody says anything. Don't get it twisted, I'm from the streets, but that's the old me. So these two dudes walk in and they start looking around like they're there for more than just the washer and dryer, you feel me? The girl stays posted in the doorway and I'm getting a little scared. No, I'm not, because I'm from the PJs. Just because I worked at Disney don't mean I ain't from the streets. I'm in the system. Now see, Tanisha, she's at a disadvantage. She's over in the kitchen of this apartment. I'm in the living room by the windows. I'm about to jump. And then jump got a next level sketchy. Two guys look at each other and one of them does like this. Now, I don't know sign language, but I've seen it done enough to know that that wasn't just sign language. This is not sign language, okay? It looked like he was saying, go pop the trunk, get the chopper, these kids are punks, we got them. Black thugs don't know sign language, okay? I don't know if it's a gang sign or some kind of signal. I'm just waiting for one of them to reach behind their back. That's what I'm watching for. Guys, you think I'm kidding? But for real? I was in my head, I was thinking, okay, I'm jumping through this window. I'll hit the ground, break both my legs, but the adrenaline be pumping through my veins so I don't even feel it, and I just pew, take off. Talk to the cops later like, officer, I tried to fight him off, and then they threw me through the window. Again, please don't get it twisted. I'm from the streets. I stopped playing Call of Duty and Grand Theft Auto because it wasn't gangster enough for me. It's getting too pretty out here in the streets. So these dudes do like 2 or 3 more like gang signs, and then one of them stays and one of them leaves. Then the girl looks at Tanisha. So, how much do you want for that dryer again? She walks over, she's like inspecting it, and the other dude is just staring at me. Now there's people who are quiet, but this guy was eerily quiet, and this dude never stopped looking at me. Like, I don't know if we was in a staring competition, because if you'd have told me I'd wear my glasses today instead of my contacts, the contacts would dry out my eyes, you know what I'm saying? I need my ass to breathe when I go to the tournament. So I'm looking at Tanisha, I'm trying to get her attention so I could be like, I'm finna jump. Like, you know, give her the signal with my eyes, like I'm finna jump through the window, you need to come with me. Tanisha never looked at me, so it's like, whatever now, I tried to warn you, but now it's every man for himself. Then I hear something coming up the stairs, ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. I'm just gonna jump, I don't even care what's coming up the stairs. The other dude comes around the corner with the little dolly, and then he starts busting out with the full sign language, and I'm like, oh, I think one of these guys is hearing impaired. Oh, I get it. Threat level has just come down to orange. The girl only ended up buying the washer, and it's a good thing they didn't try nothing, because I was about to take all 3 of them out. Don't get it twisted, I'm gangster. I eat my peanut butter and jelly sandwiches with crust.